do it much safer, please do it. Just want to raise a couple of points, several points. Born and raised here in Lycoming County, Williamsport. As a crow flies, I live about 12 miles north, and I'm in the country. Love it out there. See the bear and the deer come through my property on a regular basis. I'm on a well, and I frequently have my water tested. There's been no problems. As the drilling was going on, I could see 3 or 4 rigs from my property, and it's been quite successful thus far. But no matter what the value of my property is, if I do not have good water, my property is essentially worth zero. And I applaud so far the industry for protecting our water and our environment, and I will be a watchdog and put pressure on that continues. If there is a problem, and it can be substantially established that it may be the result of a particular well, that well should be shut down. The group of individuals responsible have to be accountable for it if it's established that problems would cause from that well. We certainly need our agencies, the EPA and the DEP, and locals to monitor it. And I think we'll continue to be successful. The degree of responsibility is important. Jobs, we talk about jobs continually, but equally, on the same scale, we have to protect our environment. And I will be right there leading that as well. Fortunately, DEP, Department of Environmental Protection, at the state level, even the EPA has done significant testing and said we have good water in this area. It continues to be good water. It's not polluted. And I want them to keep monitoring it and protecting us and bringing it to our attention. We have to look at this from an economic standpoint as well, because I serve on 3 committees and have an opportunity to travel around the world. I'm on Homeland Security, Foreign Affairs, and Judiciary. And I spent quite a bit of time in the Middle East several times. In fact, GT and I were there several times. And I was in a meeting in Iraq a couple of years ago. And in that meeting, we met with the government leaders of Iraq, but also we met with oil people. And we went around the table and introduced ourselves. And when I said I was from Pennsylvania, from the United States, a couple of the oil people sort of came over and sat by me. And I told them I was from Williamsport, and I always say Williamsport, the home of Little League World Series Baseball, and they knew us because of that as well. But I explained to them what we are doing in the gas industry, and I said, I think that Pennsylvania can be the next Texas of the 21st century. And one of the OPEC guys leaned over to me and said, if you play your cards right, Pennsylvania can be the next Saudi Arabia of the 21st century. And they know of us. And I said, Pennsylvania, the oil people knew of Pennsylvania. That's our worldwide reputation that we have, and it's a good reputation. We have an opportunity not only to supply gas to people in the United States for a very long period of time at a reasonable price, but we also have an opportunity to sell overseas. I'm part of the NATO Parliamentary Alliance, and I travel to Belgium on occasion, and Luxembourg for the NATO meetings. And Europe wants our gas. They do not want to buy from Russia. The dictator, as I refer to him, is Vladimir Putin, who controls the gas in that section of the continent. If he gets angry with countries, he just shuts the gas off or jacks the price up very high. And they will buy from us, and the Soviet Union, the former Soviet Union, Russia, will be sitting there with a lot of gas that they need to sell. Also, China wants to buy as much gas from us as possible. So my position is that in Pennsylvania, we provide the Pennsylvanians with a relatively low cost for gas. We provide it then to people across the United States and then around the world. And this is a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. Gas in this country is a game changer. As the gentleman I met in Iraq said, we could be the next Saudi Arabia. I would rather be using our gas than buying oil from the Middle East. And the world is going to change because of that. The Middle East will not be able to sell their oil in quantities that they're selling. We're one of the largest purchasers of oil. And they will not be making the money that they do make, and some of that money being funneled off to terrorists. So we can actually take care of two issues. We becoming the main supplier of gas around the world, and at the same time, at least neutralizing the power and the ability that the Middle East has at this point. And I want to close by saying, if anyone has any factual information that there is a problem somewhere, bring it to my attention. Bring it to our attention. We work for you. We want to know about it. We want this to be successful. We want it to be safe. So please bring it to our attention. I've been heavily involved in it in the past, but we deal in facts. I have people say to me, well, I saw it on the internet. Anyone can put whatever they want on the internet. I was a prosecutor for 18 years. I'm used to dealing in facts. If there is a problem, regardless of where it originated, who's responsible for it, they will be held accountable if it's factually so. So thank you very much, and if anyone wants to comment on the dissertation here, please.
Thank you, Congressman.